Welcome to Chair Yoga. I'm here with a large group of friends all over the world, and I'm really grateful to be here with you today. I polled the participants and got a few sort of cues for our class today. We're looking for stress management, looking for calm and peace, looking for easy breathing. We're looking for some groundedness, feeling of expansion. We have someone here who's just had a knee replacement not too long ago. And then also we're looking to maybe change the perspective of the phrase self-care. And let's make this practice all about self-care. So you are your own best teacher for that, as I say. I'm going to get started today by taking my glasses off if I'm wearing them. And that's optional. Everything in this class is optional. And I'm just going to rub my hands together very gently. And my goal here will be to simply palm my eyes, cover my eyes. But first I'd like to just infuse my hands with a little bit of kindness. And I'm going to turn that kindness towards myself and this journey that I've been on these many moons. So cupping those palms over the eyes and just taking a moment for yourself under cover of the palms, nice and loose. And maybe you're rolling the eyes around a little bit with the eyes closed, if that would feel good. And beginning to arrive. Maybe you take a couple easy breaths, little sips of air, sipping the air like it were nectar. And letting it flow out as if it were oil. So nice and smooth and easy, flowing in and flowing out. Easy breaths. And then when you're ready, using the hands to gently massage the face, the temples, the jaw, wherever feels good. Maybe just simply outlining the face. Noticing where you collect tension and maybe spending a moment or two there. The scalp is always a beautiful place to massage, and sometimes those of us caring for migraine might like this little tip to actually pull the hair away from the scalp. And you could let the hair down and do this if you want to, just pull the hair like gently away from the scalp and kind of keep things nice and loose. Massage the scalp if it would feel good. And then I'm going to put my bun back in. I like to joke that my bun is like a little antenna so I can connect with the divine, right? Get me a little taller. Okay. So yes, I like that, Ginger. Just a little bit of massage in the upper trap area, which is like you could bounce a quarter off that. On me is so tight. Yeah, taking the glasses back on if you haven't already, if that would feel good. Yeah, really getting in there, Margie. That looks beautiful. And maybe you're just sitting and rolling your shoulders or breathing instead of massaging. That would be fine. Welcoming you, Greg. So glad you could be here. We're just doing a little self-care massage intro here. Yeah, really nice, Janelle. And thanks for the idea on this one, Beth, to just spend a little time massaging. And I'm working on providing us with a guest who's a massage therapist who's going to come and do a webinar with us on acupressure points, self-touch, hopefully for the holidays. So, all right. Now, let us tend to the neck and shoulders. So I'm going to let my arms drop down by my side. So just letting the shoulders kind of lift up, back, and down a few times. And getting into a little bit of movement. And as I do this, I'm going to make sure that I'm seated in a way that I feel stable. I can feel my feet on the earth. I can send those imaginary roots down at any time for groundedness. Lifting the shoulders up, back, and down. Letting it be easy. And I might take one or two more of these. Gonna oil up all the joints today. If you've shown up and you're feeling like the Tin Man, and we'll just be very gradual with what we're doing here. Okay, so let's bring the arms out to the sides a little bit, up away from the body, and then float them back down. Oiling up the shoulders. I'm breathing in, lifting, spreading, making sure you won't hit your neighbor there if you're seated next to someone. Lifting the arms out and up, however far feels good for you. And over the weekend, I did some of my own practices on super slow mode. And when I slowed things down, things actually became considerably harder. And I could get into a much more grounded, mindful place. So that's just a suggestion to maybe explore moving the body a little more slowly than maybe your mind wants to. So as you can see, I'm still lifting my arms out and up. And every time I come up, I'm lifting a little bit higher. Welcoming you, Jennifer. So glad you're here. All right, and then just doing what feels best for me always. Gonna let my hands rest at my sides. When I'm ready, I'll take a breath in, and as I exhale, I'm going to drop that right ear towards my right shoulder. I'm breathing into center, dropping left ear, left shoulder. Good. Breathing in center, it's just a little tilt the ear towards the shoulder. And we're inhaling center, left ear, left shoulder. All right, come back up to center, and this time, let your arms be really relaxed. I don't want to see the shoulders moving up, at all, really. So as you tilt your neck from side to side, see if you can just let those shoulders be heavy, those fingertips be weighted down towards the earth. You could even sit on your hands, right? Or grab the chair, and that will kind of create even more length in those neck muscles. You got it. Beautiful breathing, Beth. And if I said that differently, it could be beautiful breathing Beth. There she is. All right. And then I'm coming back to center. I'm going to rest my hands in my lap and send that imaginary beam from the top of my head to the ceiling and just make some circles with that. They could be the smallest circles of all time. Maybe they get gradually larger. You do what feels good. Right? You could be seated for this, you could be standing for this. I'm just creating some neck circles with my breath. Noticing what I can notice. And maybe coming back the other direction if that would feel good. One or two more circles at your own pace. All right, and then I'll meet you in a neutral posture for my head and neck. So neutral posture for me, without thinking, I'm very often jutting my chin forward, and thus I'm like really putting a lot of pressure on the back of my neck, and my head feels like it weighs like a bowling ball. When I tuck my chin and kind of lift the back of my head up a little bit, that bun is lifting me higher into the ether, right? I can feel a bit more sort of length in my neck, and that could feel good. So I might just keep an eye out for this as I move through the rest of our session today. I see the string, Beth. It's beautiful, keeping that head lifted. Now I'm going to open my arms out to the sides, lifting my chest, little back bend, little baby back bend, and then bringing my arms in front of me and giving myself a hug, one arm on top, tucking the chin. Inhale, open the arms, lift the heart. Here we are. Exhale, hug opposite arm on top. Welcoming you, Jane. Couple more of those. Breathing in, heart is lifted. Breathing out, I'm going in for that hug. You're doing a great job. Give yourself a little cheerleading. And one last one. I got up out of bed today. Good job, me. All right, and then we'll come back and release the hands into the lap. Maybe take that little sip of water if you need it. And I'm really proud of myself. I went and I bought this ginormous water bottle over the weekend. So coming to sit with a little bit of a wider stance. And taking a circle with my torso, nice easy circles. My feet are rooted down. I'm noticing my sit bones, and if you're standing, you could just do hip circles, and that would be fine, like you're wearing a hula hoop. And as I do this, I'm noticing, oh, that chin always wants to lead the way. What if it were my heart instead of my chin jutting out? What would that feel like? Coming back the other direction. Just waking up the spine. Jennifer, you got a little friend there with you. Really wants to do the yoga. Cute little kitty cat. Or big kitty cat. Little, okay. And we're coming back to neutral and just reconnecting with the earth for a moment. So I've got my feet on the earth, my hands in my lap, a nice wide stance. I'm at the edge of my chair. And I'm going to pick up my heels and then place my heels on the earth, pick up my toes. And I'm just rocking really slowly, rocking the feet. I could close my eyes, breathing in, breathing out. Let those shoulders relax down away from the ears as you do a few more of these foot rocks, rocking the feet. And then we can plant the feet down. I'm going to lean over to the left a little bit and lift my right arm as far as feels good to me. Looking to stretch the right side of my body. Just a little bit. And then I'm coming back and switching sides. Leaning over to the right. My left arm lifting up. Stretching the left side of the body. That's good, Anne. And you can explore these side body flowing movements. Maybe we go slow. I'm still rooting down as I flow from side to side through my sit bones and through my feet, getting that energy flowing, getting the blood and lymph fluid moving, supporting my respiratory health by stretching the little muscles between the ribs. And I might take one more on each side. Always need this stretch myself. All right, coming back to center. I still have my wide stance. I'm going to grab onto my chair. Walk my feet in. With that strong corset of core strength, I'm going to keep hold of my chair and walk my feet out. Breathing in, stepping in. Breathing out, stepping out, and I'm trying not to tilt my body too much from side to side, remaining really strong through my core as I step in and step out. And the next time I step in, I'll stay there with my legs and just stretch that right leg out. I'm at the edge of my chair. My heel is on the earth to start, holding onto my chair if I need it. And I'm going to pump the foot down. So I'm going to try to touch my right toes towards the earth and then peel them away and back towards the face. I'm getting a really big stretch for the ankle, the calf, the shins. Pumping the right foot. Doing a few reps with your breath. So just a nice way to warm up the lower part of the body. You got it, Bev. And then I'll switch it up. Left heel on the earth. The leg is extended. And I'm pumping that left toe down towards the earth. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. And peeling it back up towards the face. Getting a really nice, smooth range of motion here. It is for me, maybe it's not for you, but just doing what feels best. Skipping it if it doesn't feel good to you. And then we'll release and come back up. And now I'm going to stretch my right leg out, lift my left arm, release all of that down. Stretch my left leg out, lift my right arm, release all of that. Flowing here, opposites, reaching and lifting. Exhale, release. Inhale, lift, opposites. Exhale, release. We'll do one more on each side. Let me hear you breathing. You got it. Marge, beautiful. Okay. Now I'm going to take a slightly wider stance, not as wide as I possibly can go. And I might lift my arms up overhead, or I could touch my hands to my shoulders, whatever feels better. And I'm going to flow, we did this last week, flowing from side to side with my upper body, while the lower part of my body remains grounded and rooting down. Sending those roots down and then flowing with the upper part of the body, like a little sea anemone on the tidal pool floor. Both flowing with the current and being the current yourself. Creating the current. Got it, Jim. And then I'm going to come back and give myself one more hug. Tucking my chin, breathing into that upper back. Sigh it out the mouth. As we inhale through the nose and exhale perhaps through pursed lips. This can be a really nice little escape valve, a stress valve. If you're feeling stressed, to inhale through the nose and just gently flow out of the mouth, pursed lips. And maybe one more like that. And then when you're ready, walking the feet back, taking the hands into the lap, and maybe just asking myself, checking in with myself, is today the day where I want to come and do standing poses? And if the answer is yes, I might create some momentum and do a little sit to stand routine. I'm going to skip this if I have knee issues, right? Or that I'm deciding I don't want to stand. So I might come up a little bit and sit right back down. And maybe I use my arms. I could swing the arms, momentum, create that momentum. And when you're ready to stand, you can come to stand if that's in your practice today. Awesome, Marge, I love it. So I also teach an in-person class, and it's been going throughout the summer, and one of the participants entered the class unable to get up out of the chair without using her arms. And the day that we decided to use the hands for momentum was the day she could do it. I don't know what happened for her. It just was like a light bulb moment. So, you know, however it works for you, it could work for you to use those arms to get up. All right, coming to stand. I'm going to take a slightly wider stance to make sure that I have access to my chair so that I have that for support. All right. Slightly wider stance, and I might take my hands on my hips. Wow, Marge, now you're really showing off the bionic knee over there. Beautiful. I'm going to take my arms behind my back, maybe grab opposite wrists or forearms, and take some hip circles here. And if you're seated, you could do some more torso circles. And when we did this last week, we were imagining that we were waist deep in water. And the goal was not to create too big of a ripple. So it's a slow flowing movement with the breath. Making circles, however big, however small. And then when I come back the other direction, I'm going to switch which arm is on top behind the back. And I love how this just immediately creates an openness in my chest. And I can breathe into that. So just moving my hips. So it's just my hips moving. If that would feel good, or modifying if it doesn't. All right, and then I'm just going to let the arms come down and dangle and do a few windmills. So I'm just turning my chest from side to side and letting the arms swing. And maybe they hit where they hit. Feet can stay glued down, anchored down. Getting a little windmill action here. And as I turn, maybe I could keep my head pointing straight ahead. Right, so it's just my body turning and my gaze is straight ahead, maybe not at the monitor for a change. I could find something else to look at that's a little bit farther away. Can I let my arms truly be loose? Feel that space in the shoulders, the elbows, the wrists, even the fingers. Right, my torso's moving and my arms are a-swinging. All right, that's beautiful. And then I'll come back and take hold of my chair. Taking hold of my chair, if I'm seated, I could do some rocking of the feet. If I'm standing, I could come up onto my tiptoes and release back down. And I want to get in about 10 of these tiptoe lifts. Option to use the arm or arms as you flow through these. This is one of those do it every day exercises. And you can make it your own. Maybe there's a little bend to the knee when you come down, a soft landing. Maybe you bring the arms all the way up when you come up. So make it your own. Listen to the body. What does the body want to do? And if the body just wants to be told what to do, you can just listen to me. You got it. And I'm going to take one more. All right. Take a breather, take a break if you need it. Take a sip of water. Getting into that mountain pose. Maybe for this mountain pose, you could be seated or it could be standing. You turn and face a window that looks out onto something else besides your computer. Maybe it's a tree. Maybe it's another building. So turning and facing another direction than one you're used to. And maybe you're just visualizing that tree in your mind's eye. With my feet on the earth, both legs like tree trunks, so strong, I can send roots down. My heart is lifted, my shoulders can relax, and my chin can tuck a little bit. Remember that imaginary string pulling the top of the head a little higher. And maybe I soften my knees a little bit and let myself be a little bit loose rather than rigid here. As I inhale, I'm imagining drawing up the breath from the earth all the way to the crown of my head. And as I exhale, I'm sending that breath back down. Filling up the whole body. Inhale. And exhale. So we're standing or sitting in a mountain pose, drawing the breath up from the earth to the crown of the head, exhaling the breath out and down. And if you felt safe doing so, you could close the eyes. Maybe you hold onto your chair if you need to. So here am I, a strong, proud tree, sending my roots down into the earth. And now I might lift my branches, lifting my arms out to the sides or just a little bit. Maybe they're just resting on my hips. That would be fine too. Just taking 1 or 2 breaths here in your mountain tree. And then we can release the arms down. Very nice, guys. Let's come to warrior 1. I'll step my right foot forward, bring my left foot back at an angle. And I'm just going to bend into this right knee as far as feels good to me. My goal is stability. So I might widen my stance a little bit, walk that right foot to the right so I have a nice wide base. And I could bend and straighten that right knee a few times. Just sort of see how that feels, lubricate the right knee. So bending into that right knee, you could still be holding onto your chair, or maybe you bring your hands to your hips and lift the torso. The torso is nice and upright. And then I want to add a layer of structural integrity by squeezing my left glute muscle. So I'm strong through this left hip. It doesn't have to be as hard as you possibly can squeeze it. adding a little bit of stability there. And then option to bring the hands to heart center or the arms overhead. If you're caring for untreated high blood pressure, I would keep the hands at heart center rather than lifting them over the head. Yeah, and if there's another way you like to practice Warrior One, go for it. Finding my breath. I'm going to release out of this nice and slow. And maybe just step my left foot forward a little bit. So I've shortened the distance between my legs. My legs will be straight as I take a forward fold, leading with not the chin, but the heart. Folding forward, maybe my forearms come to rest on the back of my chair. Finding that stability, maybe I lift my kneecaps here, so I'm getting a nice stretch. Back of that right leg. Of course, you do what feels best for you. Maybe you have a really high chair, and instead you could take the fingertips to the seat of the chair through the bars of the chair. But let's not round the back here. So I don't want to force this. If this feels better with the arms up higher, then stay with that. Nice, Jim. And then we're coming up nice and slow, and I'm just going to step the left foot forward. Bring the right foot back at an angle. Create your foundation first. So nice wide base for my Warrior One. Bending and straightening into that front knee. Find what feels stable for you. It could look different from what I'm doing. I'm going to add that little glute squeeze, the right glute squeezing just a little bit. My torso is nice and upright. You got it, Judith. Beautiful. And the hands at heart center or wherever feels good for you. Just infusing this shape with my awareness, my whole body. This whole breath. What a thing it is, what a gift it is to have this level of awareness. Coming out of it when you're ready, nice and slow. Got it, Jennifer? Bringing that right foot forward a little bit, so I've shortened my stance. Both legs are strong and straight. I could lift the kneecaps and take a little bow forward, leading with the heart, not the chin. So I could tuck that chin a little bit, let the hands or arms rest on the chair somewhere. Getting a nice stretch for the back of the left leg, perhaps. And I'm trying my best not to round my back here. So that might mean I don't go as far. Finding the breath. And then we make our way back up, my friends. All right, that always does me a world of good. Those two postures, Warrior One and Pyramid. And they just feel good in tandem with each other. So next up, we're going to do a standing mountain pose, our balance challenge. I'm sorry, did I say that? I meant tree. Thank you for your patience with my slow mind today. So I want to start with my feet about hips width distance apart. And if you're sitting for this, you could visualize doing this and do this in your mind's eye. So I'm taking my weight over to the right foot, the right leg, with a soft right knee. So a little bendy bounce in that right knee. I'm picking up the left heel, and I'm just opening that left knee to the left a little bit or a lot, depending on how it feels in your left hip. And then from here, I'm going to zip up my core. Remember that string coming out of the top of the head. Maybe I lift my foot up off the earth and place the foot somewhere on that right leg. Maybe I keep the toe on the earth the whole time. Softness in that right kney. Just distribute the effort. And I'm feeling mighty wobbly today. That's okay. I'm going to show up and start where I am. And I might find my edge right away, wobble out of it, come right back to it. I'm taking a moment to find a place to gaze. Rooting down, wow, lifting up. Maybe my branches grow or just one branch. One more breath. You got it. And relax out of it. Kick out that right leg a little bit. Beautiful. If you felt like holding it longer, fine. My goal with any of our weight-bearing poses is at least 12 seconds. That's where I get the benefit of perhaps creating new bone, forming new bone. That's what the research says, at least 12 seconds. 30 seconds if I really want to, get her done. So weight will come now into the left leg. Softness, little bend in that left knee, picking up the right heel. Opening that right knee to the side, so I have this externally rotated open hip posture. Zipping it up. And then finding my edge. Maybe I take my foot up off the earth, pressing it against the leg. Maybe I keep the toe on the earth the whole time. My tendency is to want to crumble into this left hip, so I really want to integrate here. Find my breath, find my relaxed attitude. There is no perfect in yoga. It is all a practice. Finding my tree pose, standing on my left leg for one more breath. And then when you're ready, kick it out. Dance it out. Find a little flow, find a little groove. Do you? Maybe you want to give me a high five. Boom. Nice. All right, so coming now to sit. I'm not in any hurry. In fact, I want to use this time. Before I come to sit, I want to stand at the front of my chair. Make sure I can feel the chair behind me. And then I'm going to bend my knees and kind of stick my tuchus out a little bit. So I'm really using the glute muscles. And I'm going to take a slow elevator ride down. Now, if your knee says no, just listen. So coming to sit as slowly as feels doable for me. And I really feel the work in the glutes and in my knees a bit as well. Oh my goodness, great job, guys. Wow, so impressed. All right, little stretchy poo. I'm going to take my right ankle over my left knee. Right, if you need more standing postures, do what's best for you. Coming, just mindful of the time here. Coming into my hip stretch, I've got that right ankle over my left knee and I'm leaning forward to the degree that feels good to me. What are my shoulders doing? What is my chin doing? Can I soften the shoulders and maybe tuck the chin a bit? Maybe use the escape valve, stress release, breathing method, in through the nose and out through pursed lips. All right. Sitting up tall, I'm crossing that right knee over so the right knee nestles on top of the left. I'm going to use my core muscles and twist my whole torso to the right. My arms can rest wherever feels good. And when I get into a twist, sometimes I forget to breathe. So I'm trying to use my breath in a different way, maybe accessing the breath at the back of the body or the sides of the body. And terribly important that we move the spine in all directions to stay flexible and supple. Let's release back and switch it up. Left ankle over the right knee, if this would feel good for you. Modify if it does not. Yeah, some of you are massaging the foot, tapping the foot, whatever feels good. Maybe you're already into the hip stretch. You want to lean forward a little bit. Soften shoulders, tuck chin. Find the stress, release breath. Very good. Sit up tall. Cross that knee. Use the core twisting left. Arms are in support of the twist, however feels good. And those shoulders always want to creep on up, don't they? Letting the shoulders relax. Finding my breath, maybe in the back of my body. And then unfurling back to center, making one last stretch. Maybe extending the legs, extending the arms, leaning back into my chair, cradling the base of my skull. Maybe I can let my legs completely relax for a moment as I lean back, cradling the base of my skull. Taking a few breaths. And then coming to sit or recline. If you need a rest, go for it. Maybe you want to come to the very back of your chair. And just let the body relax for a moment. So very important that we give the body time to integrate all of the shapes and movements that we just did. So I'm going to invite you to just completely relax. Maybe you close the eyes. Maybe you soften the gaze. Can you hear the bowl? Okay, so I'm just going to do maybe one more minute here. Letting yourself relax from the head down to the toes, from the head down to the fingertips. Imagine there was a form of liquid relaxation that was seeping from the top down. Every exhalation, imagine that relaxation seeping into the very marrow of your bones and the muscles, the cells of your muscles. Letting go of effort in the face, in the hands. What would it be like if I let go of all doing and allowed myself to simply be here, a spirit having a human experience? to everyone in the Waldenstrom's community, especially those who may be going through something a little more challenging. Sending out my tendrils of support and care, drawing nourishment up through those roots and tendrils. May all beings everywhere be happy. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Perhaps taking the hands to heart center and taking one breath together as a community. And I want to say thank you so much for your practice today, friends. Namaste.